QMV, qualified majority voting, will be used in the Council of Ministers. The Lisbon Treaty will reduce our power and put the control of Europe into the hands of a few large states. And after the treaty, using the word states won't just be an EU term for countries, that is what it will legally be. There are two parts to qualified majority voting, which is set up in such a way to concentrate power even further. The important factor of qualified majority voting is that it will be based on the population count of each state, and the number of ministers will be changed to represent their populations. A state that has more land, thus a larger population, will be given even more voting power. Or rather, those states' ministers will be given even more power to vote whatever way they want, even if it's not what their people want. First we'll quickly look at the undemocratic way of passing a law, and then the nice-sounding deceptive way to block a law. With QMV, to pass a law, at least 15 states out of the 27 must vote yes, but those states must also have over 65% of the EU population, or it won't be passed. Let's look at the EU population for a moment. The EU has 490 million people. 65% equals 319 million. So of all the states voting yes, their population must add up to at least 319 million to get the law passed. Example 1. The ministers of Germany, France, UK, Italy, Poland and Romania agree on a new law. These 6 states actually contain 326 million people, slightly more than the 65% needed. But 15 states is also needed to pass a law. So these 6 would only need to persuade 9 other state ministers, such as Bulgaria, Czech Republic, Estonia, Hungary, Luxembourg, Latvia, Lithuania, Slovakia and Slovenia. And the law will then be passed for all member states. That means the other 12 states, Austria, Belgium, Cyprus, Denmark, Finland, Greece, Ireland, Malta, Netherlands, Portugal, Spain, Sweden, the majority being well-established EU members, would still have no power, even when joining together. The combined population of these states is only 121 million. Not even enough to block, and a long way from the 65% rule if they with 3 other medium-sized states decided to vote yes on another law. Blocking. Rules for states that wish to stop a yes vote. As of this time, the EU's official frequently asked questions page does not fully explain the important blocking factor. The missing piece of information makes their explanation very misleading, but legally they are covered, as they are not really lying. They have just conveniently left out a vital piece of information, a clerical error they could plea. On the site they say all you need is a minimum of 4 states voting no to block a law from being passed, which sounds nice. But that contradicts what they said about 15 countries voting yes, meeting the population requirement, against 12 voting no, and the law being passed. What they don't tell you is that to block a law being passed, a minimum of 4 states must vote no, and the population of those 4 states must be at least 35%. They don't tell you about the 35% blocking rule. 35% of the EU's population equals 171 million. And as convenience would have it, Germany and France's population adds up to 147 million. Still 24 million short, but Germany and France would only need 2 other countries to make up that, such as Romania and Bulgaria, or any other 2 from a variety of combinations. This is an amazing gain of power for the larger countries. Example 2. In the Council of Ministers, if 23 states vote yes to a new law, say for example making a more competitive EU for the medium-sized states, it only takes France and Germany, along with 2 others such as Romania and Bulgaria, to block it. And we've already seen that 12 states such as Spain, Netherlands, Belgium, Sweden, Ireland, etc. would be powerless, even combining together, because they don't meet the 35% population rule. The Lisbon Treaty is in contrast to democracy, a government run by the people. If it were passed, it would leave the people of Europe in a dangerous position, as to manipulate the direction of the EU, even fewer individuals need to be corrupted. This treaty leaves the power of the EU wide open for misuse.
We have 7 votes, and the big states are 29 each. What's now proposed is we have therefore 1/4 of Germany's and France's voting weight. But under the Lisbon Treaty, they go over to population basis. In other words, we have 4 million, Germany's 80 million, that's 1 to 20. We have 4 million, Britain, France, Italy have roughly 60 million people each. the ratio 15-1. So the new arrangement would hugely benefit the big states by basing EU lawmaking largely or mainly on population size. And that's kind of takeover bid by the big states, and that gives them far more say in making EU laws to their own advantage, of course, and possibly to our disadvantage. So that's a huge change.
And the German influence in the council will double from 8 to 16%, because we will vote in the council after the number of citizens.
That 15 must make up 65% of the population. So the blocker law is the opposite. The blocker law, you need 35% of the population, and the minimum of 4 states. Germany, if Germany wants to block something, Germany and France together, because Germany's 80 million, 82 million, France is 60 something, that's between 140, and the rules are that there should be a minority, there must be at least 4 states to block something. So if Germany and France, if